Good morning. It's pouring rain outside. I live at 3,400 feet of elevation, whatever that is in meters. And so the snow is coming anything above where I live. I want to ride on the railroad so bad. But every day I try to figure out how to get to do that. And it's just ends up not working out because by the time I'm done with work and my responsibilities, it's 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon and it's dark. Making 31 videos in 31 days, there's bound to be a total turd. But I do have some really good ideas for videos. And so today what I want to talk about is how to get out of that winter slump. When you have no motivation and just there's no way you want to do anything, especially in December, how do you get yourself motivated to do the things you want to do? December for me is one of the worst months for motivation. It's just there's nothing. I don't want to do anything. It's cold outside, it's raining outside, it's snowing. That's why the Train Like a Pro challenge is so important for me, is because it just forces me to do the dang thing. Now, I got a little bit of work I gotta crack out. I've got a 4-hour bike ride that I gotta do today. The new VC kits, bro, the new VC kits, let's call Ryan for a second. I was ready to launch with those kits, and for you to come and say, hey, I think I just have a feeling we could do better. And I mean, bro, these are just knocked out of the park.
It's all credit to her, but yeah, no, she killed it, man.
Green and black is obviously super sick, and I love it. But holy smokes, that navy blue with the maroon is just so good, man. So I really appreciate you.
They're both hot, and I like some of the other ones too, but I think they're different. You know, they're next run collections too. The other, God, what was the other one with like the pineapple outline or something?
Yeah.
I thought that one was rad as well, but we wouldn't want to offer that in the same offering.
So the new VC kit has been in the works for years. I've tried doing so many different versions of it, and it just never was it. You would see the designs and you're like, yeah, that's cool, but man, it just doesn't have that feeling of like, that's the banger. Elio has put together an absolute banger. It's going to come in a couple different colors and different collections. It's going to launch at the end of January. How to get out of that winter slump. My first tip would be to know what you want versus what you need. Training 20 hours a week for 3 weeks, or basically I'm going to end up doing a 75-hour month this month, isn't necessarily what you need. Maybe that's what you want, but potentially, given that it wasn't a crazy pandemic year, you might have already raced yourself into oblivion or have already put in a ton of hours on the bike. So before you really try to get out of your winter slump, maybe you need a slump. Maybe you need to just lay on the couch and eat popcorn and sort of reset with everything. I know in the land of motivation, it's always like, you've got to be on it. You got to go so hard. You always have to be doing stuff. Motivation. Sometimes, dude, you need to just ooze into the couch. You know, like that Dare commercial?
This is the way it's been since she started
doing intervals.
She's all lazy and boring and
fit as fuck.
Sometimes that's what you need. And a lot of cyclists, they will take a couple weeks completely off the bike. Something that's helped me out a ton to get through the winter slump is to try new things. Go snowboarding, try tennis, basketball, whatever. Try a new thing that you haven't done before. Trying something new can help the mind more than it can help really anything else. Sometimes when you try something new, you make gains really quickly. Because trying something new can be super fun and just motivate you to get moving. And once you get moving, it's really easy to stay moving. But when it's cold and you've been sitting inside and you just gotta get going and you don't want to ride, maybe you do want to do something new. So we've got to get a 4-hour ride today. Very difficult, 20-minute sweet spots. So we have 360 calories in each bottle and 90 grams of carbs in each bottle. This will definitely get me through this ride. I am currently fasted though, and we'll probably stay that way for about an hour of the ride. So then I'll bring in a bottle an hour. That's almost 100 grams of carbs an hour. Another tip based on science, I actually listened to a podcast about this, is to set a goal that is so ridiculously easy to achieve that you know for sure you're going to do it. So let's say band work, okay? You say, I'm going to do 1 minute a day of band work or stretching or yoga, something to get the body moving, but it is something that is so outrageously 1 minute a day. You can definitely achieve that goal. What that's going to do is start building your momentum. See, because the biggest thing to get yourself out of a winter slump is to build that momentum. You have lost the momentum. You look outside, it's snowing, it's cold, it's dumb, it sucks. So you got to get that momentum going. And as you get the ball rolling, it will be easier and easier to move that ball a little faster and a little higher. You want to feel accomplished. So 1 minute of yoga a day, bro, you can do 1 minute of yoga a day. And then you might end up saying, well, I'll do a little more the next day. But slowly build into it, starting from something so ridiculously easy to do that it's not even a question. One huge thing that helps me out is structured workouts. Even if you don't race or you don't care about your fitness, just having some kind of structure to the ride helps out so much. So I've got freaking 20-minute sweet spots today, gross, but it's broken up. You can see how many times it changes. So you can just always say, well, it's just 20 minutes and then I get a break, right? It's just another 20 minutes. I've got 2 left. I've got 1 left. You can sort of walk your way down this workout. Even if you just say want to ride for 1 hour, having some kind of structure where you go, okay, I'm going to keep my heart rate at 150 beats per minute for 5 minutes, and then I'm going to spin 100 RPMs for 5 minutes, then I'm going to stand for 5 minutes. You just break it up, build your own intervals. Even if you have no idea what you're doing, making it structured will help the time pass big time. But ultimately, sometimes there is just no motivation. There's no tricking your mind. There's no doing what you want to do other than just throwing your leg over the bike and getting it done. Just go through the motions. Don't think about it. Just do it. That's so easy to say, but honestly, throw your leg over the bike. I have 4 hours today. I want to do 0 of this, but I'm going to throw my leg over the bike. I'm going to just start pedaling, and I'll lie to myself and I'll say, you know what? All I'm going to do is like 5 minutes. I'm just going to spin for 5 minutes, but that 5 turns into 10, turns into an hour, turns into I'm completing my workout. So at a certain point, you just have to be disciplined enough to just throw the leg over the bike and just get it done. This is what I love about this community, dude. Zachary Oster, and I'm just kind of throwing a little pity party for myself. Kind of want to get off the bike. And Zach just said, bro, your blogs have really inspired me over the last 2 weeks to excel in both school and cycling. Dude, that's so freaking awesome. Because, dude, when I was a young buck, I didn't really have a male figure to look up to. I mean, my mom is awesome and she crushes and she's taught me a lot, but like, I didn't have this one male figure to be like, that's the way to do it. And not that I'm telling you this is the way to do it, but to get messages like this make me want to rip my bike in half with motivation. Zach, thanks, bro.
Call an ambulance, but not for me.
Man, so getting yourself out of the slump, the winter slump, it's never easy. It's never gonna be easy. It's not supposed to be easy, but it's rewarding, right? Getting out of it and starting the new year ahead of the game versus behind the game. That's super important. One thing is you could get yourself a balance board. This thing has kept me entertained for so long. I mean, I'll spend 20 minutes on this thing a day because it's just fun. So one of these days, at the end of this, I'm gonna break down just how much fitness I've gained over the last couple months. But man, I'm telling you, to sit there and do 310 watts for 20 minutes times 4, where just 1 year ago, 310 watts was my maximum 20-minute power. It's crazy. Now, looking at the heart rate data, my heart rate was climbing a bit during the efforts. So it wasn't just flatlined across the whole thing, which, is not worrisome, but maybe indicates that it was just slightly over sweet spot. With that being said, though, my active heart rate was actually pretty promising because it was a max heart rate of 180. And so if you're really fatigued and you're not recovering, your heart rate won't be able to get up. So when I'm super fresh, I could have a max heart rate of 205 if I'm just, full gas. And so it is a good sign to see that my heart rate is able to climb. I mean, all the metrics that I'm able to use, active heart rate, resting heart rate, power, perceived exertion, respiratory rate, fitness, fatigue, TSS score, all these things are objective data that there is nothing in the program so far that is showing that I'm overtraining or that I'm setting up for failure or a crash. Now, I am really looking forward to a rest week next week. That's for sure. I really think that probably the most important part of getting out of the winter slump is just to move. So whatever that means to you, if that's not getting on the bike, if that's not doing anything outside, just do something with your body. Stretch, get on the ground, roll around, just do whatever to get your body in motion. And like I already said, once you set that ball in motion, it's so much easier to keep it rolling. Chili, cornbread, we got broccoli, so good, man. So my last tip of how to get out of the winter slump is to try to better your diet just a little bit. Because the main thing is that in December, often, and I've done this, I just think, you know what, I've had a really hard year, I've earned just to completely not think about it. I'm just going to stuff my face with potato chips, salt and pepper, or the salt and black pepper kettle chips. Those were my weakness. I would just smash them. So then what you do is you get into this death spiral that you start eating worse and worse and worse food because you're in hibernation mode. And then the next thing you know, you're 20 pounds overweight. So then that kills your motivation, that kills your momentum. And I know you're gonna justify it in the way of like, well, January 1, I'll get on top of this. But the problem is that the further down the mountain you are, come January, you're just like, dude, there's no way that I can overcome this crazy 20-pound weight gain that I've put on. And so then you sort of feel bad about it. And so then you just continue eating bad. So I'm not telling you to go vegan. I'm not telling you to eat plants. Do whatever you want, eat whatever you want. But if you could just limit the weight you gain in December, maybe not even that you lose weight in December, maybe that's just not your goal, but maybe you just limit how much you put on. That is 100% going to help your motivation and your momentum. So if you put better food inside of you, you're going to feel a little better. Everything's about just pushing the ball a little bit at a time. I've said this so many times before, but eat whatever you want, just cook it yourself. So if you want a double bacon cheeseburger with French fries, cook it yourself. Go to the store, get the ingredients, make it yourself. That is going to be way better than waiting in a 50-minute line at In-N-Out. And look, we made some cookies from Flora Plants they sent us this whole little box of like pre-made cookies. So I'm not saying don't treat yourself, bro. Treat yourself. It's December. You want to sit by the fire. You want to be nice and cozy. You know what I mean? It's totally okay to have a moment where you sort of relax yourself on your diet and you're not super strict. But if you can just not relax so much that you put yourself in such a hole that digging yourself out of it becomes something you're just like, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to call 2021 a mail-in year. I'm just not going to do it. Okay, so in summary, how to get out of a winter slump is basically up to you and your goals for the next year. But I would say don't worry about it really honestly that much. It's okay to take December to totally reset. And if you need to stuff your face with cookies and chips to sort of get to that spot where you reset, you know what I mean? It's not that big of a deal, to be honest. But my biggest tip would be just to get the momentum rolling in any way possible. It might be the smallest things, like just stretching, setting really small goals, cooking something. Like maybe you make one salad that slaps in the month of December. Like whatever it is, just get that ball rolling a little bit, and it will be so much easier to get it going and keep it going and keep it going. I want to say huge thanks to Flora Plants for sending that box of cookies. We did this, and then they wanted to go full ham on cookies, so the wife did these sugar cookies that they're all designing. How do you come up with really cool things for the kids to do? Like designing cookies here. I know it's like at a glance, it seems easy.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's definitely a must-have, and then I like to do it from scratch so you can cut out the cookies. So I have all the cookie cutters, and it just gives them something to do for a while. And that's, I feel like, more what I look for is things that are going to occupy them for a while. And then you get to eat cookies. Not that I would eat some of them, but
You wouldn't eat this guy right here?
I might eat that one. Probably not that one with that much frosting. How rude.
Thank you for watching. As always, Vegan Cyclist.
Yeah!
There you go, baby. You got it that time. Good job.
What's up, leave right there. I'm trying to figure out to the time camera. I did a little too long. You know, when I woke up, the bus was gone. The bus, my feet were sore.